For those of you I've not met personally, again, my name is David Bennett, and I'm currently serving in the role of Stewardship Chair, and I'm also a member of the vestry here at St. John's. Today, we're wrapping up this year's annual giving campaign and offering a blessing of your gifts through an in-gathering celebration. This is a joyful occasion, and I wanted to take this opportunity to speak to you to express my gratitude. First, I want to recognize and thank the current members of the Stewardship Committee, John Van Etten, Camille Stell, Spencer Renfro, and my wife, Tori, for their support during this year's campaign. I also want to thank the fellow parishioners who shared their thoughts during the series of ministry moments over the past 5 weeks. Susie Hetzel, Joy Schillingsburg and Roxanne Johnson, the Shale family, the Sosebys, the O'Donnells, and my son Tyler, who graciously agreed to go first, as if he had a choice. Their testimonies were both inspiring and insightful as they painted a picture of how they see God's light shining through St. John's. Today, I'd like to share one final ministry moment with you. But unlike the previous presentations, this ministry moment is not just about my experience here at St. John's. It's about a ministry that we all share, which is the ministry of stewardship. I used to think of stewardship as an annual fund drive, something that we do as we begin to prepare a budget for the following year, and at the most basic level, this is true. Your financial pledges or estimates of giving are the single largest source of operating revenue for St. John's. And so we ask you to return your pledge cards early so that the Finance Committee and the vestry can begin to craft a realistic operating budget for the upcoming year. But serving as stewardship chair this year has helped me to understand that stewardship is much more than a budgeting process. It's a meaningful, spiritual, and impactful ministry in its own right. When discussing stewardship, we often talk about sharing our time, talent, and treasure. Much of the power of the ministry moments we heard comes from hearing how we as a congregation and as individuals can focus our efforts toward a cause and have an amazing impact in our community. We have an amazing staff and dedicated volunteers who share their talents and who give freely of their time to make St. John's such a wonderful place to gather, worship, and serve. And it's no different with finances. The ministry of stewardship asks us to recognize God's blessings in our own lives and to give with joy. Your financial contributions during the annual giving campaign make everything that we do possible. Here are just a few examples of how your past contributions have supported and enhanced St. John's. The journey that brought Mother Sarah to us. The expanded hours that we've been able to provide for Barbara, Helen, Joy, and our Sunday nursery staff. Taking a significant leap this year in hiring Sarah Bentley Allred as our new Director of Family and Youth Ministries. The routine maintenance, emergency repairs, and positive enhancements for our wonderful building and grounds. The ever-increasing length of our children's procession to Sunday's Godly Play program. The many smiling faces and new friends that we welcome to this community. And most recently, if you saw the announcement, recognition by the diocese as just one of 3 parishes selected to host a curate under its Reimagining Curacy's pilot program. Our theme for this year's stewardship campaign has been an invitation to walk in love. And make no mistake, every example I've listed and every ministry moment you've heard is a step along that path. Now take a moment to consider how each one of those examples represents an amazing return on your investment in St. John's. How God's blessings are multiplied far beyond the amount contributed. At the same time, we need to be conscious of the fact that we need to sustain that growth for the future. In particular, we need to ensure that our staff remains fully equipped with the time and resources necessary to meet the needs and demands of a growing congregation. By giving with intention, you provide St. John's not only with the resources it needs to carry out God's work today, but also the ability and the confidence to plan ahead for future needs and expenses. So for those of you who have already returned your pledge cards, I want to say thank you. And today we have a small token of thanks to share. A water bottle, reusable, made from recycled plastic, that you can use to remain well hydrated as you walk in love. These water bottles are available for you outside in the narthex, and please be sure to pick one up as you leave today. For those of you who have not yet returned your pledge cards, don't worry. It's not too late. We have plenty of water bottles to share. But I do ask and encourage you to demonstrate your support for St. John's by returning your card or by pledging via the online link that's also been distributed as soon as possible. I have a personal motto that I try to follow, which is be content but not satisfied. We have so much to celebrate here at St. John's, and at the same time, there is so much more that we can do. And as this congregation works together in love, grows in faith, and strengthens its commitment to each other and to our community, just imagine how much more that we can accomplish. So, with gratitude for what we have, but with equal anticipation of what's to come, I hope that you will continue to give to St. John's with joy in whatever amount is appropriate for you. Thank you.
Amen.